The Metro Board of Health just voted unanimously to declare a public health emergency in Davidson County to protect Nashvillians from the COVID-19 virus. News Channel 5's Eric Hilt is at the Lentz Public Health Center where that meeting just wrapped up. It was a special called meeting. Eric, this was an unprecedented and big move by the board.
Yeah, and that was a word that was used during this meeting quite a bit. That's unprecedented. This is something that we haven't seen here in Nashville, at least for quite some time. We'll go over the things that were passed. First and foremost, this resolution that was passed gives the Director of Health, the ability to take any action he deems necessary in the interest of public health. And some of those actions that were passed tonight, all bars in Davidson County, including those on Lower Broadway, will have to close. Restaurants limit to 50% capacity. No more than 100 people, in bar service at 50% capacity with no standing. I asked Mayor John Cooper when that will go into effect. He said there's going to be an informational period. They have to get that message out to these bars and these restaurants. He says that could last 24 to 48 hours before there is that closure. The other big question with all of that is enforcement. How will these rules be enforced? We heard from the board members that they've been talking with police here in Davidson County, the Metro Nashville Police Department, about how to proceed that way. Also with the office that permits those restaurants, talking about what that enforcement will be. But as of right now, no details on what enforcement will look like if those bars or restaurants do not comply with this mandate. But again, the big takeaway in all of this, bars across Davidson County, including on Lower Broadway, will have to close because of this public health emergency. Back to you.
Thank you. And of course, as the mayor stressed, this is a constantly evolving situation. Now let's check in with News Channel 5's Matthew Torres, who's live on Broadway. Of course, Matthew, we've been talking about the bars on Lower Broadway, and the chatter really started before this meeting down there.
Emily, well before, even since last night, after videos have been circulating from Lower Broadway of people really standing shoulder to shoulder in some of the more popular bars here on Lower Broadway. A lot of folks reacting to it on social media, calling it irresponsible, and for folks saying unbelievable, ridiculous. Maren Morris, a country music superstar here in Nashville, also reacting to this. You can see the video there, one of them in Lower Broadway. You could just see the amount of folks who have compiled here, and really it's a stark difference from the social distancing that health emergency officials have been asking people to do. And here throughout the day on Lower Broadway, it seems like it's like any other weekend here. Folks not heeding that warning of social distancing. They say they are going to continue living their lives. They seem to not be too bothered by the coronavirus. They say as long as they can wash their hands and have their bottles of sanitizer, then they will be fine. One person even telling me that he thinks this whole thing is a hoax despite what's being presented out there by health officials. Behind me right now, in fact, as soon as they declared that public health emergency, we heard a bunch of people saying wooing, and really the sights and sounds that you would normally hear on Broadway. We do have people still out here, some family with their kids, even in strollers. We have seen earlier here in one of the busiest parts of Nashville. Now, despite what was recommended by the mayor even before this press conference and meeting, we have folks who are already reacting, including owners and workers here on Lower Broadway. Just want to bring up what the owner of Tootsie's, Honky Tonk Central, and other bars mentioned here, saying while he appreciates the efforts of Mayor Cooper to combat the COVID-19 virus, unless there is a statewide mandate that directs all bars and restaurants to be closed, in request by the mayor, he thinks it's unconstitutional and will continue to operate. In fact, the PR person for Honky Tonk Central and the owner of the other bars here then sent me an email suggesting there is an event happening there at Tootsie's on Tuesday. So despite what's been declared, it's going to be interesting to see what bars here will be doing in order to comply. I know some will already be heeding the warning and following the request. We'll see down the road whether that will be fulfilled. Back to you.